When I was about 12 years old, I remember going to the library and pulling a book out. It was a book written by Thomas Merton called The Waters of Siloé, and it was the history of the order. And in the middle of the book, there were pictures of monks. And I remember looking at these pictures and feeling kind of drawn to that. Years rolled by. I thought I was going to get married. Things didn't work out. Losing someone that you think you're in love with, and all of a sudden you find yourself alone and kind of depressed, and made me think. And I remember going into a church. I had not gone into a church for a while. I lit a candle, and then I thought maybe I should go and talk to a priest about all this. It was Father Barnabas, and it was the best thing that happened to me because he became my spiritual director, helped me through all this depression, and helped me start looking at religious life once again. He made me look at it on a spiritual level and as a way of life, being a disciple of Jesus. I decided to enter the Capuchins. But once I entered, I realized that what I was really looking for was more of a monastic type of environment where the community prays 7 times a day, where there is silence and solitude, but there's also work. I decided to remain in the Capuchins, and I went through the entire formation, but always with the yearning that maybe someday I would be able to transfer. So I came back to the States, and I spoke to my provincial. I proposed everything to him about transferring, and of course he said no. He said, why don't you take a year and think about it, pray over it. And after the year, I went back to him, and he gave me the okay to come and do the first phase of formation, which is the observership. So I entered as an observer in August of 2005 and spent the next 3 months here. I liked it. It's informal, but it gives you a clear idea of what life is like here. You live as a monk in the cloister. You get feedback from people regarding the life. You're able to ask questions. They ask questions of you. So we get to know each other. At the end of the 3 months, it really helped me to come to that decision that I wanted to come back. I wanted to stay. Everything I thought about monastic life, I saw and I liked. So I finished the postulancy. I received the novice's habit and started my novitiate, which lasted for 2 years. And as a novice, you're taught the rule of St. Benedict. You study scripture. You study the constitutions of the order and statutes. You study how to be a monk, basically. It's not a career. You don't come here for big titles or big jobs. You come here because you feel called to this way of life. You come here for God. Jesus calls you by name. And that's basically what we're looking for in a candidate. To be a monk is a person who stands with Christ. And that person actually devotes his life to a life of prayer, not for himself, but for the world. It's not a game. It's something that you do because you love what you're doing, just like you would love your family. I love what I do as a monk.